Hello, and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm John, or Senstaku, as you might know me on Twitter, the executive producer here, and I just want to thank you for watching. It really means a lot to us that people watch, listen to, and enjoy our shows. If you want to help us keep making these shows as fun and lively as they can be, please join your fellow fans in supporting us at our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms or by subscribing to our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/finalshowfilms. It really means a lot to us that the amount of you who do support us continue to do so, especially our $25 plus tier supporters on Patreon. Antitonic, Cat Waterflame, Samantha Bates, Maureen Monty, and Bradley Alexander. Every little bit helps, so thank you to all of our patrons and subs. Check us out on Twitter at Final Show Films and on our website at www.finalshowfilms.com for updates, go-live notifications, and more. We love interacting with you, so feel free to tweet at us or email us at finalshowfilms@gmail.com. That being said, please relax and enjoy. Now live.
Also, I don't have to wear
Welcome, everybody.
armor anymore because on a vaguely related topic.
I did say we were live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to Everyone is Warlocks, Conflux, the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign that we're running here on Final Show Films. My name is Jack. I am your dungeon master and storyteller for this whole thing, and joining me today is William.
Hi, I'm William, and I'm playing Wotan Saltspray, the dwarven pirate servant of Thing Beneath the Waves.
And Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Korishanis of Zachary, Kalishtar, Pact of the Chain Warlock.
And Aaron.
Hi, I'm Aaron. I am playing Zoe, Hexblade, Pact of the Blade Warlock. And in my defense, there was a question raised about, oh, hey, someone's away. Should we wait?
You're not
And
wrong.
John.
I'm John. I'm playing Warlock, the Warforged engineer, servant of the Great Machine. And it wasn't a question. I was just making an observation.
And Nikki.
Hi, I'm Nikki. I'm playing Diamond Katara, the Earth Genasi Pact Archfey Blade Warlock. I did it.
And Cody.
I'm Cody. I'm playing Cole Estasi, the Pact of the Chain Raven Queen Warlock.
And the eater of paper clips herself, Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara, and I'm playing Aurelia Clementine Everins, human archaeologist and Pact of the Blade Warlock.
And our last moments in Conflux were spent on the deck of the Elishard's Revenge, as the Hawkshead Compact welcomed their newest member, a synthetic individual printed into reality by the Great Press, which is itself a massive machine of mysterious arcane construction in the north of the city. The newcomer, a warforged named Warlock, appropriately enough, provided the beleaguered group with transit out of Merc Dreamer Lanes as they fled an encounter with the Nightwalker formerly known as Elishard. The evening following was spent concealed in the fens aboard their new vessel, followed by a return to Knives Font for a moving day of sorts. The Hawkshead house was emptied, their scant furnishings relocated to the ship, and then the compact went to turn in notice to Hiram Mencken, their erstwhile landlord and leader of the largest were-rat gang in the quarter. The conclusion of their tenancy went more smoothly than initially expected, and Hiram was even generous enough to offer a few parting gifts. And now our eyes are drawn once more to the ship's deck, where our warlocks appear to have at least a few free days to themselves in their only sometimes exceptionally hostile city. So, Zoe has been taken aside to begin a level of training with Galadel, the drow monk who was apparently influenced, instructed, something, probably by Zoe's patron.
To him.
Yep, but showed up, announced himself as your new mentor and teacher, and has begun to instruct Zoe into some of the finer points of dedicated weapon craft. What are the rest of you planning on doing today?
Diamond grabs Rourke and we're like, we're gonna train with this new thing that I got.
What?
And she like turns around and like pulls up her shirt and points to like the lower back. Is like there's like a new rock there.
Rourke seems a little taken aback to be being shown his owner's lower back, but he's no, that's
I wasn't there before, so I think it unlocked something, and I want to try it out.
Right. Well, sure. And he'll get his gear together, and
The magic is activated by twerking.
It's not. It's in her. It's like, it's like it, just lower back, but like not enough to like show her butt or anything.
right in between the kidneys.
Yeah. So it'll really hurt if someone punches it.
I need to get my
them
sister.
probably.
That too. Yeah, probably would hurt them more. I need to get my sister. I need someone to help me carry the tank.
I can assist.
Great. Wonderful.
How's Aurelia doing with the Warlock situation?
Yeah,
Just fascinated.
That's an insight check.
Me
Yep.
too.
Go
Me
for it.
too.
Sure.
On who? Aurelia or Warlock?
Aurelia.
While they're rolling insight checks, Wotan has 3 jobs that need to get done. 1, teach people how to operate a boat. That's an important part.
Okay.
How to work the ship is important. 2, acquire furnishings for ship.
Okay.
3, probably see if there's any leads from Thalia about potential crews.
Okay.
We still need more crew for this ship. Like a 6-man crew is not enough for this ship.
Legit.
I got a natural 20.
I was gonna say
Screw you.
7-man.
Aurelia is inscrutable at this point.
Oh, she's gotta go get her sister. Okay.
In what direction would we need to go?
We need to go. Where are the fens again? Are they're
Far
in the
north.
north part?
Can we get the map back up?
Yes. Let's get you guys onto the world map. That is not where your sister is, however.
No, that's where we are. We're in the
she's-
fence.
Yeah.
Well, you guys currently are docked outside down in Knives Font because
Oh,
you
we are?
just turned in notice and got all your shit.
But
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
moving.
Good,
Yeah.
good. That's right.
She's up in 13 clouds, I want to
Mhm.
say. Yep. Yeah. 13 clouds. We also need to stop by Candlespark. We should go there first. I have more family there and materials
So,
that may
Jack,
be useful.
With the ability to fly at 60 feet per round,
Mhm.
how quickly could we get to those places?
God.
What is the duration on your fly spell?
10 minutes.
10 minutes? Not a chance.
No.
Yeah.
You would need a lot more than 10 minutes of flight to
Okay.
get there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just wanted
Mhm.
to check and
Yeah.
see
Mhm.
like if that would be the easiest way to.
10 minutes flight will get you partway across most of one of the quarters, but definitely won't let you cross an entire ward and get into a different one.
Alrighty, I will save that then.
Also, the only thing that's going to be more weird and obvious than this strange animated robot is this strange animated flying
Actually-
robot.
Yes.
Question, Jack. I need to know. I need
Yeah.
your input on how this would work.
Okay.
So the tireless spell says you can move 3 times your normal speed over land and perform 3 times the usual amount of labor. Would that
Right.
translate to if you suddenly gained a flying speed as well?
No, because that's not over land.
Okay. So in that
Yeah.
case, let me know
That's
when you're
through the
ready
air.
to depart.
Now.
I will cast Tireless on both of us.
Okay.
Whoa,
So-
I just drank.
So
like-
I pull out I pull up this orb, twist,
Mhm.
push forward. The giant gauntlet appears as
Mhm.
it collapses over my arm. I pull out a tightly wound spring, put it into a receptacle on the palm of the gauntlet, which closes over it, and then touch myself on the chest, and then Aurelia on the shoulder.
Hey, what are you doing?
Casting
this?
a spell as you feel the effects of Tireless take place. You grant machine-like stamina to the target. The target requires no food or drink or rest. It can move at 3 times its normal speed over land and perform 3 times the usual amount of labor or read 3 times the normal rate. Creatures under the effect of the spell are immune to non-magical exhaustion and suffer no consequences for not sleeping or for overexertion. The spell does not reduce or prevent magical fatigue or magical exhaustion.
Whoa.
So basically you feel like your entire body has been optimized, including your brain. Everything begins processing
Okay.
faster and more precise. This will assist in our task.
Splendid.
Shall we go?
Yes.
Cora.
Yes, before you go, Aurelia just hears mentally. If you're heading to 13 Clowns, do me a favor and steer clear of. I don't have street names. This general vicinity, if you could.
Referencing what? Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh, I think I remember.
Yeah. My parents live there, and I do not wish anything that can be connected to me to be brought back to them because it endangers them.
Of course. Yeah.
Thank you.
Right. Go off.
All
We
right.
begin walking at 90 feet per round.
Yep. Zoom. Okay. So you guys just start hoofing it.
Yep.
First across the river towards
Mhm.
Candlespark, you said?
Yep. Mhm.
Okay. And then once you get done with your business there, I assume swinging north for 13.
I'd like to introduce you to my father. This is all, I tried this mentally first, actually, because I don't know if Warlock can hear things mentally. This is very strange. I'm curious.
Warlock, you hear a voice in your head. Sounds like the person you're walking next to.
Very well. Who says out loud?
Perfect. So I had just a lot of questions about.
I will do my best to answer any questions.
All right. So the Great Press made you?
Incorrect. Or sorry, correct.
Correct.
Yes.
All right. What was that like? Do you remember getting made at all?
I remember being aware.
When did that happen?
3 days ago.
Fascinating. So you are much more articulate than the average 3-year-old. What do you know?
I know all of the information that was implanted in me by the Great Press. Is there anything specific you'd like to know?
What was the weather like 3 years ago, and 5 days from now?
Do
Give a
I
date.
do I know that information? Was that part
You
of
do
the
not have
relevant
access to that
All right.
information.
That is not part of the relevant information provided by the Great Press.
All right. To provide you the information you needed for this game. Do you know any of the other players?
I am
Besides
familiar
us.
with Wotan Salt Spray,
Mhm.
Aurelia Clementine Evans,
Yes.
Cole Istasi, Diamond Qatar, Zoe Elwarin, Korashana the Valkyrie. I am not familiar with any other compacts.
Okay. So it only. Interesting. Maybe that's partly what was like built in, because the soup guy was saying something about like rules.
You're not
Soup
familiar
guy.
with a soup guy.
Soup guy.
I am unfamiliar with a soup guy.
Oh, you might. meet
Everybody
him.
has
That
a
would be
soup
very
guy.
interesting. I'm highly curious. Do you metabolize?
I do not require food or drink.
Have you ever had any?
No.
Would you like this? I ruffle around in my pockets. There is possibly some like trail rations, because we were in the Underdark for a little while
There's
there.
a cookie with a paperclip in it.
I pull out a cookie and hand it to you. Can you just like here?
Look at it. The yin-yang mask splits open, slides back, comes back as the
How many of those
smiling
do you
drama
have?
mask. I currently have 4 masks.
Okay, so we've seen the yin yang.
Sorry,
there's a
5
smile.
masks.
Okay. Smile, there's a blank one. That was in the
Yeah, there's the 3 that have been seen so far have been the yin yang mask, the the sort of brass smile mask, and the black, just like flat mask.
What do your other 2 look like?
Momentarily. Give me one moment. And I insert
Certainly.
the cookie into the open mouth of the comedy mask and eat it.
There's a grinding sound, and a couple crumbs go, and the cookie is gone.
Do I taste anything? I don't know if
Roll
I've
me a
been given.
D20.
I don't know if I've been given taste buds.
I would have laughed if you would have
I've
pulled
been
out the
waiting
paper
so long
clip
for
and
this.
tossed the cookie.
No, no.
You find that you like raisins.
I enjoy raisins. Also, there is a strange metallic taste to this cookie. Bits of
That
paper.
might
Yeah,
just
no,
be
you. This is the first time that Warlock has experienced flavor.
Apparently,
It's interesting.
apparently the Great Machine gave me taste buds.
Fascinating.
They're gonna be taste buds because you're gonna start eating
so-
everything.
The face then splits apart, goes away, comes back as a silver, frowning, dramatic face of like a where the golden face was like sort of a feminine, smiling face. The silver one is a clearly like a bearded individual, frown like in this over dramatic frowning face,
Fascinating.
and then shifts back, comes back, similar to the flat black metal plate. This is just a flat, unpainted like steel plate with just the 2 eye holes, and then it back to the yin yang.
Fascinating. You prefer that one?
This is my resting face.
Trying real hard not to make the joke.
Resting yin yang face.
Resting balance face. Oh god.
Yes. Yes.
I'm just fascinated by everything here. Can I see your hand?
I hold out my hand.
I like start like moving it around. Are there like joints visible, or is it all covered kind of by metal?
So the gauntlet is currently not on, so that's in ball form, and that is hanging from my staff.
Okay.
But the hand individually, on close inspection, it looks like he's wearing a leather glove.
Okay.
But as
Is it
you,
leather?
yeah, you
Okay.
definitely feel leather. On inspection, you see that it's like if you had a plated gauntlet that was articulated on the inside, and the plate was leather. So it's not that he's wearing a leather gauntlet, it's that his hand is a leather gauntlet.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But you can feel the underlying framework of joints and metal that forms the skeleton that gives it its shape and form and dexterity.
Fascinating.
All this while we're walking at 90 feet around.
Yep. All of this as you guys are power walking your asses across southern Conflux.
And it works because we operate at 3 times the speed and efficiency in this mode. So.
Exactly. Do you know what is powering you?
I am unfamiliar with the phrasing. Do you know what is powering you?
Thank you. I was hoping that was going to be the response.
That is a topic of much debate and discussion at the university I went to, Vascone.
I imagine the answer is likely similar.
Is there an answer?
I do not know.
Fascinating.
Yes, ask the 3-day-old Warforged about philosophy.
Well, if the 3-day-old Warforged is programmed with philosophy information from the get-go.
I mean, I do have proficiency in religion, nature, medicine, history, and arcana. Jack,
you can roll arcana.
23.
You have a distributed power source. There are a number of small crystals embedded throughout your physiology that both exert and absorb energy, giving you a somewhat self-sustaining energy source, although periods of inactivity and rest are required in order to maintain it at peak efficiency. It can run down if you don't take time to care for it.
I just have the Mass Effect 3 scene in my head. Just does this unit have a soul?
slightly burned down to what is a soul first before I determine if I have one. On a more mechanical level, I operate on a distributed crystalline energy structure that absorbs and exerts energy, similar to making a medicine check real quick.
Nope.
Defeat.
Similar, I assume, to how any other organic would operate.
Oh, no, we don't operate on crystals. I have one, though, in my gun. What if we like merged? I mean, I could possibly like try and charge you with my gun, or you could try and charge my gun. This raises interesting possibilities.
I only require an amount of inactivity to recharge any spent energy. It is not something that requires additional external input.
Not required, but people do all sorts of things that are not required. Anyway,
Science!
Science! Anyway, I think we're here.
All right. So while they have just kind of toddled off to southwestern Conflux, what have the rest of you been up to?
I gave you my list.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Are you attempting to start training people right away? And is anybody receptive to this other than the people that are actively elsewhere, which would basically be
probably actively elsewhere? Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
Yeah, same.
Like,
Cool.
over
I mean,
time,
if
yes,
Wotan,
I do intend to learn that, but
Mm-hmm.
if Wotan says that Diamond and Rorik will stop their training, and Diamond comes back looking like a. You guys haven't seen her do this yet. She got this new thing. So she walked away with Rorik looking adorable. And then she comes back not 10 minutes later because it's like been like maybe like 2 minutes since they ran off, and she now looks like more like a rock person. Like her skin looks more jagged. Her jawline has gotten much more square. And like I think even her pupils look more crystalline. She's just kind of like, hey, you want us to help figure out how to run the boat?
I'm sad that when you said rock person, it didn't start with a Brandon Urie haircut.
Right, I was gonna say, yeah. Kiss face paint.
No, unfortunately,
We're bringing all the
So-
genres together.
I'm
Yes,
very
all
sorry.
the ooh, emo arena rock.
Right.
That's oh
So
man, why
Green
is that
Day?
not a genre?
So Green Day.
No,
Even her hair
No.
pop
probably-
punk. That's pop punk.
But anyway,
Anyways,
Diamond's a
Diamond
rock
comes
person.
in looking more like her father than you guys have ever seen her.
Interesting.
What?
Definitely got a little bit of the Malik going on there.
That checks out. No, yeah. She's like, I've never used it before, so I don't.
Fancy new
Does it
trick.
look weird? Do I look weird?
You look regal. Sure, we'll go with that one.
Okay, thanks.
I like how Wotan undercut his own compliment.
Yeah.
Right.
Regal. Let's go with that. Let's just toss some negs on the boat here real quick.
you look no stranger than anybody else.
Okay.
At least with Wotan, there was a compliment in there.
It's not a
Simon is very confused. She hurts herself in confusion.
Diamond the Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yes.
All
At
right.
some point, I need to teach all of you how to handle a ship. That will probably be able to wait for any important details until after I've managed to furnish the ship and maybe get some extra crew from if Thalia's found anything. But at the very least, if any of you have nothing better to do, I can at least teach you how to climb rigging and other basics.
Diamond like looks at Rorik and she's like, you're gonna need to learn how to you're gonna need your sea legs at some point.
Mm.
Come on, cousin, it's fine. I've been doing this my whole life.
Whole life is it?
Well, most of it. More than 2/3.
Rourke starts doing
All
math.
right.
It'll count as training, I promise.
And like the one of the
Don't
most
trust it.
basic one of the most basic things, but one of the most terrifying things at first that you have to learn to do to operate a ship is to climb rigging. So probably going to start them off with that.
Okay. Make some athletics checks, anybody who's trying this.
I imagine Diamond takes to this how I took ROTC ROTC practice, where it's like, oh, climbing on things. It's like a giant playground.
Yep, Cora's
I'm-
not doing any of that.
I got a 10.
Cora's stepping off the boat and heading towards wherever that fucking religious place is.
Oh, okay.
Woo.
Crypt word.
Halidors.
Oh, is it Halidors?
I was gonna say I thought it was the northeast, but it's
Yep.
been a while, and yeah.
All good.
Halidors is my home district.
Yeah, nope. Rorik just grabs onto the ropes and just primarily using sheer brawn and prowess just hauls his ass up. He's not super graceful, but he's indomitable with it.
Look, he got himself up there.
He did. He definitely did.
The hard
All
part's
right.
getting back down.
Yeah. Well, before you get back down, untie those latches up there and let that sail loose. We're going places.
All right. Cole, were you joining in on this too, or no?
No, he's actually going to be down in the hold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Diamond, give me a sleight of hand check.
Oh, good. 1. Not a natural one. It
Knots
was a
are
3.
hard. Knots are really hard.
With these new like rock fingers, I'm just like, God damn it.
Clunk, clunk, clunk.
Clunk, clunk, clunk. I have become worse in this form.
Rorik is managing slowly to get some things undone. He gets like 2 knots done, and then you can see his eyes sort of just drift to the dagger at his belt.
It's so much easier.
If you cut the rope, you have to replace the rope.
And then he finishes his 2 and then slides, sort of butt scooches his way over to where Diamond is.
Having the worst time.
Do you want to pull on that bit?
If I could get my big rocky fingers at that bit, I would pull on it.
Can you not turn it off?
That's exactly the face that Diamond makes. Huh. And then she ends it early because she could definitely do that. She just didn't think about it.
Go ahead and give me another sleight of hand check.
She gets advantage from Rorik helping.
Yep.
16, there we go.
Right. Now that your fingers aren't like, 2 inches across each, you get those hands to work and finish the rest of the tie downs.
In that face, there were 1,000 different scenes of the inside of Diamond's brain going, what?
I can end the spell I cast on myself early? What?
What sorcery? Oh, my sorcery.
My sorcery, specifically.
What's Cole doing down in the hold, Cody?
He's actually going to set up his scrying spell.
Okay.
For 3 scries. So he's going to be down there for a while.
All right. Who's he scrying on first?
First, we never actually confirmed that Elishard was dead. Cole is just assuming that he lost control, so he's going to try to scry on Elishard.
Okay. You take some time with the bowl basin with the water in, focusing, cast your spell, and you feel the magic activate that searching sort of tendril of energy going out. And there's nothing for it to latch onto. This is not something that was pushed off by the target. This is this is a shot at something that doesn't exist.
He kind of sits down there for a second, or for probably actually a few minutes, and shit. And then he'll cast it again, this time looking for Ludo.
Okay. What's your spell save?
17.
17.
I feel like at some point in the middle of the second scry, the ship lurches as the sail comes down and it starts moving.
A little bit of splash of water into the lap.
Not as much thumping up there anymore.
Yeah. You reach out with one more attempt, and this one hits a wall. Ludo's out there somewhere, but whatever he's up to, he is focused enough that his mind just pushes off the attempt at locking in on his location and observing him from a distance.
Okay. Well, he sits there and he smiles, and okay, at least he's all right. He hasn't seen him for a while.
Mm-hmm.
and then he probably sits there for another 15 minutes working up the courage to scry last time for his sister.
Okay. Let's see what we've got.
It's like 15 minutes of him doing everything except the last step, and then he'll be like, all right, now.
This is when they learn that Warlock was actually an animatronic crafted for a pizzeria, and there's a child inside.
No.
No, we are not.
No.
We are not FNAFing.
I am
shit.
not Five
We're
Nights
not
at Freddy's.
doing. I'm done. It's not 2018 anymore. No more FNAF bullshit. No, that was 2000. That was 2016.
They're still coming out. They're still.
I know.
Regular.
Anyway,
I was thinking more, what's it?
Cole, you work up your courage, grit your teeth. There's that tension of, do I want to have an answer to this question? Because what if the answer is not the answer I'm looking for? But
Yeah, I don't want two scries to feel the same.
right, you push out and your vision blurs for a moment. And then you can see your sister. She's lying down in a bed. It's dim light, as if there's maybe a candle in the room. Asleep, best that you can tell. She occasionally shifts slightly uneasily, but no murmuring or anything, just possibly just sleeping a little restlessly.
No windows or noises or anything.
Give me a perception check.
All right. Sure. 29.
29. You can hear quiet conversation as if through a wall, a room or two away. The occasional clink of dishes. Based on what you can see of the room, the sounds, she's in an inn or tavern of some sort. Conversation is muffled.
Okay.
And unfortunately, there's not really much you can do to move it. The sensor much around.
Yeah.
If he had gotten the
But
natural 20, would he have
she's
just
out
put
there.
someone saying the name of the inn?
Alive somewhere.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, after the scry ends, he'll sit down there for quite a while before he comes up to the deck and sees what's going on.
The one thing that you do notice before you break the scry, there is a folded dress on a chair nearby the bed. You know she has a habit of just, folding up her clothes and setting them to the side when she goes to sleep. There's some stains on it. Looks like food, maybe ale. Looks like a maid's dress, honestly. As if she's been working at this inn.
Okay. Well, does she look disheveled or anything like that? How she look?
She doesn't look
health-wise?
emaciated or anything. She looks a little thin. Cheekbones are a little sharper. Not underfed, but definitely not the picture and bloom of health, but not worrisome. She looks like she's been working hard for
Has
a
she been
while.
eating enough? No. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he'll sit down there in the dark after the scry ends. And then he'll come upstairs.
Okay. Aurelia and Warlock, you have arrived at the Everns Clockwork Shop.
Yes.
Ah, my people.
Aurelia, you go in the back door or the front?
Front.
Okay.
He'll be out.
Push the
front.
door open. There's the little tingling of gears that ring the bell.
Hello.
Curtain pulls back. Oh, well, you've come. You're back. Yeah, it's been a while since we saw you, dear.
Yes. No, I'm back. I wanted you to meet my friend Warlock.
And Warlock, you're greeted by a fairly stooped old man, hair swept back, gray to white around the temples, small spectacles on the nose that he pushes up to look at you.
The face opens up, comes back as the smiling face. Hello.
Oh,
I
that's
am Warlock.
fascinating.
The great
That's
press
very-
made him.
Your talents are getting better, daughter. This is very impressive. Who's in there? What's your name, son?
My name
There's
is
no one-
Warlock.
Yeah, that's a good joke. I like your friend. Is this one of the friends that you brought by before? What was his name? That heathen fellow I heard so much about.
No, that's not him. The great press made this.
Well, great press. I've heard the stories that come out of that place now. Now, there's some interesting things that those Halidor's folks run into when you go poking around with all those engineering. Yeah. Well, how much did this cost?
Jack, do I know the relative cost of the parts used to make me?
Just roll me a straight intelligence check.
Could I apply my Tinker Tools proficiency to that?
Sure.
Yes, I really want to be able to spout off an exact figure. 15?
You can spend. Do you have an inspiration?
I do have an inspiration. I'll spend it.
Roll a d8.
Nice.
So 23.
23. It 117 gold, 13 silver, 8 copper.
The resources used to construct me would total to list that number.
Man, that's quite an investment. Very, very, very solid engineering demonstration. Tinkering on this is quite impressive. You should be proud of yourself. Both of you.
Again.
Thank you. I am proud of myself.
Good to hear. Confidence. Confidence is very important and kind of gives you a little like rap clang knuckle on the chest plate.
I will return I will return the gesture. Clunk.
So what brings you by, dear?
We need to move you. I think a change of scenery would be good. I know we've had I had hired someone.
Well, there's work to be done here in the shop.
Yes, but thing with the great game going on and things changing, I think it would be better if you were somewhere a little closer to remember people's names, to Harold.
Well, haven't been up to visit the grandchildren in a while, so I think maybe a day or two, and things. You're not wrong about the hazards of the game. This this disguise very, very, very smart. You might not be able to identify who you are, and then when you're walking about, then you can just be yourself.
I will do my best.
You do that.
Mm-hmm.
Has she been behaving herself? Has she been eating enough?
Sort of. Hang on. How healthy does Aurelia look?
I mean, not great. Yesterday she was down to like.
I mean more on a dietary aspect.
On a nutritional scale.
Not great. Aurelia survived mostly on coffee and just spite at this point, I think. So
isn't that normal for a college/fast zone person?
Yeah. Imagining that.
So the face shifts back to the yin yang face. I grab the orb, twist, grab it with the other hand, and pull it out into the tablet form, and just sort of hold it over Aurelia and tap a few.
But
Aurelia Clementine Everins seems to lack basic levels of nutrition. Would recommend supplementing diet with increased protein and fiber.
Dehydrated as well.
I'm doing all
Not
right.
if she's drinking a shit ton of coffee. That's
Caffeine will dehydrate you.
Yeah,
Yes,
but there's still
coffee won't,
hydration in it.
Like caffeine is a chemical, helps dehydrate.
Coffee
but
does
the
not
amount of water you're
actually
getting from
cause
coffee-
dehydration. It's just not water.
right. But anyway,
You're not getting as much water intake as pure water, but you're getting water.
Ah, all right. Let's pack up some things then.
Yes. And
And he goes into the kitchen and just sort of idly starts grabbing jars of stuff and putting them in a bag.
all right.
And
this
he
is
gets
going-
about 8 jars in and then looks, grabs one more jar. Yeah, this should help. You need any money?
I have money.
You sure?
Yes, I'm fine.
All right.
I sold one of my designs to the
Good for you. Is it like one of these or something else?
No, a little different. Here. And I will pull my gun out, actually. It's kind of broken right now. I don't know if I actually managed to break it, but it's looking rough, but this is
Yeah,
the
let's see.
prototype.
Guys, is this some sort of irrigation thing? What's it do?
Don't look in that end. Okay. You have to hold it like this.
No, definitely look at that end.
No.
And then that thing in the middle, like, just jiggle it a little bit.
It's
Put
just,
pressure on it.
it's just a Luke Skywalker. Just deadly dangerous weapon. Stare directly into it.
Right.
Point the
I had
lightsaber.
literally no idea what it was.
I know, but it's fucking hilarious.
It was your father's lightsaber.
What?
Movies would have been over a lot sooner.
And that's what the Force is for stopping you from doing that.
Yes, exactly.
It would have been hilarious. I was like, and then Ben's just like, fuck.
You are a Skywalker.
I didn't even have to have the high ground for this one.
I mean,
I wasn't expecting it.
tried real hard not to continue this diversion.
Okay, I'm gonna
We have a
gonna-
game we're doing,
Yeah,
folks.
Yes, we do.
I'm trying real hard. You don't understand how physically.
Well, it was lovely that you stopped by. I'll
Yes.
see you next time. And he goes back to his workbench and starts.
All right. I'm going to snag. I had hired someone, I thought, to kind of keep watch on him.
Oh yeah, no, the
Yeah.
place looks cleaner than usual. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I will snag that person.
Oh, they're not present
They're not present.
right at the
Okay.
moment. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I'll send them a message later. Then I think. Yeah. I'll discuss it. All right. Well. On to the next. That was kind of just for fun, actually. Sorry to put you on the spot there, but
It's quite all right.
all right.
And you have a bag with 8 glass jars in it now.
While we're walking to 13 Clouds, I will pull some of them out and see what he's given me. I don't know.
You have a jar of pickles
Okay.
and 7 additional jars of lutefisk.
Thank you. 7 jars.
He
Of
basically just gave you a shit ton of pickled food.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Dad. Okay. All right.
He pretty much just cleaned off a single shelf, put it in a bag, and said, "Here."
Want to try some of this? I will hand you.
But where's the jar of Hakarl?
I will hand you a jar of lutefisk.
Take it.
You-
Look at it.
You eat the bits inside there. Don't drink the liquid.
Unscrew. Face shifts again. Try
I'm
lutefisk.
sorry.
It's not pleasant.
I have learned that both I have taste buds and that this tastes bad. Screw it back on, hand it back.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is delicious. I eat some of it.
It must be an acquired taste.
Possibly.
I have not yet acquired the taste.
You will acquire it if you have no taste.
Pretty much.
And so
And
we continue on towards the other place.
All
Yep.
right. So you guys are headed up to 13 Clouds. Cora, as someone with no money, how are you getting up to Halidorn?
You see, I have these wonderful
Spite.
things. They're called feet,
Okay.
and they carry me where I need to go.
All right. Sounds good. You've
I
got
thought you were gonna say they carry me back to the boat to ask someone for
So I was
cash.
like, you're gonna cross Conflux basically the entirety minus underbow
Yep,
on your feet.
yep.
Cora's
That
boots
seems
were
very
made for
in
walking.
character.
Wouldn't
Thank-
be the
thank you.
first time they've done it.
Have fun walking for several
Double
days.
proof of the exercise you are getting.
Yep. All
Glad
right.
Somebody heard that.
So while Cora is walking,
Yes.
go ahead and give me a perception check.
And Cora was never seen again. Sorry, perception check?
Yep.
You wanted
Okay.
to play that Chaos Warlock.
I'm 11.
11.
Are these really clumsy assassins?
Nope. Not particularly.
All right, I keep walking then, I guess.
Sounds good. Just needed to know where we were sitting.
Doo-dee-doo-dee-doo.
Wotan, you spend some more time teaching the points of
Operating a ship.
seacraft and seamanship. Go ahead and give me a water vehicles check with charisma as you try and teach
Ooh.
anybody who's around.
I like it.
Alrighty.
I think Cole would have been up
Do I
from at this
potentially
point.
have advantage
No.
for any reason? Okay. 26.
Ooh.
26. All right. An amount of progress is made to getting some people water vehicles proficiencies. Zoe, Galadel is starting you with just basic blade form. You're familiar with how your sword handles, but it's been more of an intuitive bond with it rather than an actual knowledge and education of how it is used as an extension of your body.
This sword is my divine right. I just know what it
Right. Mm-hmm. So the next several hours, as the ship gets underway and begins moving, is just repetitive instruction, correction of position, of angle, correction of length of strike. He's exceptionally efficient. And he's a demanding instructor. He is not willing to stop or take breaks until you have this down. You're starting to realize that this is going to be an ordeal, to say the very least. But after a couple hours, go ahead and give me roll me just straight wisdom.
Okay. I have a point of inspiration. Can I use it? Or
Yes,
no?
absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. 15.
And roll your d8.
Wait. Right. I don't have advantage.
Yeah, it's not an advantage thing. It's just an
Sorry.
extra d8. No, it's fine.
The extra 6. So that makes
All
it
right. 21. With a 21, as you're getting in tune with his knowledge, his instruction, and listening to what he has to say and doing your best to emulate his teaching, you find yourself in a place where you are growing more confident. It's not so much that you're reaching out and just having an expectation of what's going to happen, but you're getting to the point where you can see exactly what's happening as you go through these forms, make these motions, and you know where you're supposed to end up before you start the strike. You know where your feet are supposed to be before you finish through with the combinations that he's demonstrating and showing you. It's a new, slightly new experience for you. You haven't had this type of instruction for a while, and definitely not this intensity of instruction ever.
And it was probably a lot more assassin-y.
And it was much more assassin-y, and you were part of a group of sort of mass-produced ally people. This
Look,
is some.
If they're injured, they're running down the hallway. Here's the dagger.
Right, exactly. This is a dedicated expert who is focused solely on your training, your instruction here, and there's a level of immersion that you've never experienced before that you're honestly kind of thriving under. Which is when Aurelia and Warlock get up to 13 Clouds to the inn where Constance is being kept.
Yep. Warlock, just so you know, this person is not aware that we are Warlocks. I'd like to keep it that way. She knows my brother.
The face shifts back to the yin-yang face.
You are conspicuous. Jack, do I know, would I be able to carry the tank by myself a short distance? Like
short distance, possibly, yeah.
Possibly?
Depending on your athletics roll.
Okay.
Oh, I left, by the way, Jack, just for your information, I left Io on the boat, sitting perched on top of the crow's nest.
Okay, cool.
I think I can pass you off as something that I have built. Yes, this should be fine. Just don't say anything about the Warlock things.
Understood.
Go in.
Follow.
All right. It's a fairly lively afternoon. Plenty of clientele there.
Mm-hmm.
The proprietor comes out, wiping her hands on a cloth, sees Warlock come in and is sort of puzzled slightly for a bit, then notices Aurelia there. There's a brief beat, and then you see the recognition, a light in her eyes. Everns, right? Yes, you're back, and your pet is
Yes.
doing well, I think.
Good to hear.
Yes.
I'll be taking off your hands now. Thank you so much for watching her.
You are a few days late.
I am. I'm very sorry about that. I will compensate you. How much was it before? I don't have that much gold on me. Shit. I didn't think about that.
We actually have a stash and no one took any
do.
for leaving to go do this.
Yeah.
3 crowns would make up the difference.
I will produce 3 gold and hand it to Aurelia.
And I will do 3 gold, 5 silver is like half again, just for thank you so much.
Of course, right this way. Well, you remember, and leads down. Yep. You're led into the storeroom, and Constance is drifting there in a tank that is a little murkier than you would prefer, but not bad per se.
All right. Grab.
There's a couple of half-eaten fish kind of floating off to
You
one
gotta
end
skin
of the
those
tank.
off. She's not eating them. It's not okay. I don't say that out loud. Grab that end. Lift.
I will
Head
grab the other
out.
end and also lift.
All right, you can either both make an athletics check, or one of you can make it with advantage.
How noodly is Warlock's arms?
I have a 0 to my
Oh
athletics.
God! I have a 2.
I have an 18
should-
constitution and a 10 strength.
Okay. I think we should both make an athletics. That feels
All right, go for
An
it.
11.
A 13.
Okay, working together, you're able to transit this tank up and out onto the street. It's going to be a long walk back to anywhere, really, with this thing if you're carrying it, and it's not the most ergonomically designed object to be carried,
No.
and it's also very sloshy.
Mm-hmm. We should hire a carriage or wait. You can do that thing.
I can.
Okay. Can you make something carryable? Like I've been designing a something like a backpack that would sort of make it easier to, as I frantically find my thing, to carry her along. Could you do something like that?
And you there is
I
a
will
notebook,
produce
right,
a-
pushed into your hands with some diagrams on it.
Set the tank down, look at the
basically
diagrams.
like a round sort of tank with like a backpack contraption around it and stabilizing within it to help be secure so the glass doesn't break, and like a bellows system to pump air through it.
Jack, would this rely on my tinker's tool? If I were to craft this normally, would it rely on my tinker's tools,
Tinker's
or
tools.
would it require glass blower's tools?
Tinker's tools primarily. The glass is mostly in panels,
Okay.
so you would just
Are-
need panes to have them fit, more or
Are
less.
we're on the street right now, not here.
You are on the street, yes.
Not here. We need to do not do whatever you were about to do here. You need to duck somewhere,
look at the thing
looking
real quick.
around for someplace that looks like it's gonna be out of the way, where we can he can do stuff behind me, like an alley.
It takes 10 minutes anyways. I wouldn't be able to do it here.
All right, where can you do it inside of a carriage?
Yes, though that might not be the best idea.
Why not?
Part of the carriage becomes part of the construction.
No, not because part of the carriage becomes part of the construction. If anything goes wrong in the midst of the crafting and the carriage hits a particularly violent bump, loses a wheel, any number of possibilities, things might go bad with the creation. And if the fabrication is halted mid-spell, I cannot say what would happen.
Right.
And so,
Warlock, you are also aware that this tank that you've got here would fill maybe 20% of the resources and raw materials you'd need for this.
also, this is not enough raw materials for the spell.
Oh, okay. Right. Right.
I'm going to look around really quick. Is there like an alley with a dumpster nearby?
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
I'm good at those. I rolled a 5, so 11.
11. There's plenty of garbage around, but it's garbage.
I mean, so long as it has the raw materials, it doesn't necessarily matter. It won't be the best quality, but I can fix it later.
Yeah. Of usable raw materials that would fit what the spell would require, you can find about half of what you need.
Okay.
Including the tank.
There is not enough raw materials in the nearby area to craft the contraption that you have in mind. However, I might have an alternative solution. Actually, Jack.
Yeah?
I mean, actually, would the 3 times would the 3 times the usual amount of labor just work, or like would that just work for us carrying the aquarium around?
So you can do. It's not like your strength is tripled.
Yeah, but like we wouldn't get exhausted from carrying it. Is the thing.
You wouldn't get exhausted from carrying it. No,
It'll just take a while. Got it. Yeah.
It would just take a while, and there will be the risk of somebody tripping and dropping this shit.
Do we have
I
enough?
believe that you do have telepathic bond thing set up, right, John?
Yeah, I can send a message to people. So I pull out the tablet and I just start typing, and I'm going to send a message to Wotan. From the eyes of Io, can I tell where the ship is right now?
Give me a history check.
It's probably sailing towards what was it? Thalia was in either, I think, Dancer's Court or Shadow Shades, where she lives.
20 on my history check.
Thalia was working out of Shadow Shades. Yep.
Yeah, so probably
Shadow Shades and Twilight's Web, basically.
Yeah, probably heading towards Shadow Shades then.
Yep. Wait, are you close enough to your owl to be able to see through its eyes?
Yeah, I don't know if I am or not.
I was gonna say I don't think you are.
If you have, does he have investment or not investment?
No, I'm
oh
not.
wait, no,
I'm
you're
not.
packed. Yeah, you're not.
He's packed to the tome.
I have the regular Find Familiar.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have to be 100 feet.
100 feet. So yeah, I can't see through Io right now.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm just gonna send a message to. I'm gonna use my feature to send to cast sending to Wotan.
Okay.
We have a particularly heavy aquarium in 13 Clouds. Require assistance.
I will note, just going over the text to Find Familiar again. You need to be within 100 feet to communicate with your familiar to give it instructions, but I believe you can just see through its eyes and hear what it hears. Period.
No, it's since the sentence, the paragraph starts with while your familiar is within 100 feet of you, and then the second sentence starts with additionally as an action, which implies that it still has to be within 100 feet of you as the initial conditions set for these mechanics in this paragraph.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So that's the message I send to Wotan.
Okay.
Repeat that.
We have a particularly heavy aquarium in 13 Clouds. Require assistance.
Where am I at on the waterway?
You guys are dropping down. You're almost past Dancer's Court at this point.
Yeah, not in the right direction.
Yeah, right about there-ish.
We're a ways down the Reedy River in the wrong direction, so if you can get a carriage to Twilight's Web to the dockside, I can probably meet you there.
So, back to earlier. The ship has moved to Twilight's Web, so we have less distance to travel. I can fabricate a lid for the aquarium if that would assist.
Yes. Yeah, and I'll get a carriage.
There should be enough materials around to make.
Yeah, you could fabricate a lid.
I will cast fabricate to make a lid.
Yep.
In an alleyway slightly out of view, using my big billowy cloak to block the sight of the.
Thank you.
All right.
I hail the carriage.
Okay. For transit down to Twilight's Web, the carriage that you get will cost 1 gold for the 2 of you and the.
I will
and
pay.
The aquarium.
I will pay another gold if needed.
I mean, I'm not going to say no.
I have 11 copper, 11 silver, and 11 gold. Well, had 11 gold. Now I've got 7 gold.
Okay.
And you guys are headed to Twilight's Web.
Yep.
When we're in the carriage, cast do the whatever it's called, the Eldritch Sight to check on her. I say hello, Constance. It's really I've You're back. Can you understand me, please?
Eldritch Sight or Detect Thoughts?
I do
Or
Eldritch Sight.
Okay,
So detect magic.
gotcha.
You just have telepathy, period. So
Yeah, and I just have telepathy.
Right,
So I'm checking on her and then go from there.
Okay. A lot of transmutation magic still knotted up all around her, obviously.
Yep.
That's the main thing that your Eldritch Sight notices.
Okay.
No response mentally.
I look up at Warlock. What does he look like with that?
There's a faint bit of magics around him, about the same that you see on any of your other companions. Nothing specifically magical in terms of items he carries or anything like
Okay.
that.
Okay. And he doesn't seem like particularly magical innately. I was curious about the
There's a
mechanics.
little bit bleeding
bit.
out between some of the seams.
It seems more like the crystals kind of stuff that I had seen before.
Probably.
Okay. So Aurelia looks at you and her eyes have gone gray.
Mm-hmm.
Flat.
Warlock has his head cocked and is looking at the octopus.
Okay.
Yep.
Fair.
Give me a nature check.
It's a squirrel.
17.
You know quite a bit about octopi.
Fascinating.
Cephalopods in general, really.
Do I know that it shouldn't be here?
You know that there are a few freshwater species of octopi that live within the Reedy River, primarily in the Fens area.
Okay.
This is not one of the species or subspecies that you would expect. This one's bigger.
So out loud, your octopus is wrong.
Blink, snap out of that. What?
This is not the kind of cephalopod aquatic species that would be found in the Fens. It
No.
is larger.
She's not from the Fens. I start using prestidigitation to get gunk out of her tank.
Okay.
And I fling it out the window.
Where is she from?
This is my sister.
Give me another nature check.
22?
Calculating.
Well, that's not usually biologically possible.
Ah, I see. Your parents adopted an octopus.
No. She was changed into this.
Via
Something
magic.
happened. She encountered some sort of leftover spell or curse or something that was lying around somewhere in Candlekeep.
I could attempt to
Candlespark.
identify the effect if you'd like.
Yes.
Well, that explains it. She's on the wrong plane. If it happened, in
She's supposed to be in Candlekeep. Jesus.
I will cast Identify on the octopus because if you instead touch a creature throughout the casting, you learn what spells, if any, are currently affecting it.
Yep.
So I will ritual cast Identify again.
You have to touch the octopus.
I pull the thing out to tablet form, and just sort of dip my hand and slide the lid open and dip my hand into the aquarium.
and then short out
Octopus.
and die. Make a new character.
That would be a really
Octopus.
shitty thing to do to a Warforged PC. You're not just vulnerable to water damage. Water immediately kills you, Wicked Witch of the West style.
But it would be really funny
It's like
in
dropping
the
a
moment.
toaster into a bathtub.
that'd be a really
And then you would
bad
also kill
reason-
Constance, so
That'd be a really bad situation considering he came to us on a boat.
Yeah.
On a boat,
Greg Press likes to live on the edge.
right?
Alright,
Not like surfing behind the boat.
I'm mostly concerned about him touching the octopus. Is the octopus just like, nope, no, no, no?
I'm also super excited for like crunk.
You also just can't
I am holding the
do it
octopus.
yourself, because it is just constantly raining.
Yeah, I'm not
Just
trying.
claw
I'm
machine.
just like sort of presenting my hand as a thing to latch onto. I'm not trying to like grab the octopus.
I don't know if she bites.
You're made of metal. I don't know if
I'm
it
not.
matters.
I'm not concerned about being bitten.
Okay.
Make an animal handling check.
I did. It was a 9.
Still take damage.
Okay.
That's fine.
The octopus kind of shies away from you.
She's here. I reach my hand in and try and like waft her.
You make an
towards-
animal handling check, then.
Yep.
Watch this be a
Present a
natural one.
bigger threat.
13.
13. You're able to sort of coax Constance up, and Constance reaches out a couple tentacles to see what
Mm.
Warlock's hand tastes like, you know.
Yep.
Just grab the tank and tilt it in one
No,
direction.
no. This is why I don't like.
So
going near the
you've
tank
got
anymore.
contact to
So yeah, I cast Identify. It takes 10
Okay.
minutes.
it takes 10 minutes. So while that's being cast,
Yep.
Cora,
I'm
You've
still
arrived.
walking.
you have now arrived
Oh,
at the
good.
Academy of the Holy and Profane.
You're not
good.
dead.
Yet.
That's for the
So
walk
what we're
back.
saying is I'm about 3 years ahead of the rest of the party time.
How long of a walk is that from Knives Font to Halidor's?
It's a very long walk.
Yep.
It is multiple hours.
Yeah, you also have to go through Merc Dreamer lanes.
Not if you cross the river, right?
Not if you cross the river.
Yeah, you can just cross the river at Fell Heights through 13 Clouds, head up.
Yeah, there's a number of footbridges.
Totally, there are bridges. In
That's the question, though. Does Cora do that, or does Cora go straight through Merc Dreamer lanes?
No, Merc Dreamer.
Yeah.
They are not going into 13 Clouds.
Okay.
Too much chance.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Merc Dreamer, the boundaries of Merc Dreamer are a site of low-level chaos. The most evident thing that you notice is that the Fell Heights warders have definitely started to move in and take control of the district.
Mm-hmm.
Now that the Merc Dreamer warders basically shorted out, they immediately moved to fill that vacuum.
It's fair.
The quarter itself is subdued.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot quieter. There's very few people out on the streets. Not nobody, but very few.
Right.
Everybody is staying indoors, undercover, out of sight.
Okay.
Go ahead and just roll me a survival check.
Oh, sweet. I'm so excited for this. This is going to go so well. Oh, my survival is slightly better than that's right. This is not the character with. Yeah. Still 4.
Oh,
Do you have any inspiration you want to spend, or do you want to see what a 4 gets you?
You walk right into the Nightwalker.
Yes,
Okay.
I do have inspiration.
Okay. Roll a d8 if you want to.
Yep. Let's give this a shot.
8.
8.
8.
You doubled it.
Okay. You wander around Merc Dreamer for a little while. Like the rest of the city, you've spent your time on these streets. You know your way around most of Conflux. Merc Dreamer is the one place that is still very fresh to you.
Mm-hmm.
You burn more time than you feel comfortable. And every once in a while, you'll hear a bell ring as if somebody's raising an alarm in some part of the quarter.
Okay.
You occasionally duck down an alley to skirt around a knot of more threatening looking people that seem to be lurking.
Mm-hmm.
There's an almost haunted aspect to this part of the city right now. you're fairly certain you know the nexus of that.
Yeah.
And apparently its presence is washing out and causing ripples throughout the fabric of this district, and the longer it's let go, probably beyond.
Okay.
You don't ever quite glimpse sight of it. The closest you get is walking down one road as you're almost to the Hallow Doors boundary line. There is a section of pavement that has apparently been stomped through, and a mostly destroyed building that probably got backhanded.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple of large tracks in the exposed underlying dirt and mud.
Okay. Yep, we're keeping clear for sure.
But with an 8, you manage to burn mostly time, not too much in the way of anything else, and eventually find yourself out the other side.
Okay.
The Academy of the Holy and Profane rises in front of you. Tall pillars supporting the upper levels. A broad stair that rises probably 15 feet above the street level before you get to the doors.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy metal doors, black iron.
Okay.
It's a quiet place. It's not the sort of place where there's constantly people in and out, in and out.
Right.
Everybody who passes it definitely, if not overtly, definitely subconsciously acknowledges its presence. There's a gravitas to this building. But the doors are in front of you.
I approach.
Yep.
Make
Doesn't
my
seem
way
to be
through if possible.
Yeah, there are no guards on the outside.
Okay.
If you lay a hand on the doors, they will push inward.
Okay.
Fairly quietly.
Step my way in.
On the interior, it's reasonably well lit. There are mostly lit by non-flame illumination sources, glowing crystals for the most part. The occasional lantern that is carried, but the flame that burns inside is a pale white, not something that comes from burning oil or anything like that. Magical, you would say. Possibly dating back to previous great games when magic was a little more prevalent in the dimension.
Right.
There's no desk. There's just a number of people wandering back and forth, and one of them stops seeing you come in. Welcome.
Hello.
What are you looking for?
I am looking for information on fiendish entities. A fiendish entity in specific, but fiendish entities, I figure, is where I would start.
Interesting. Do you have a dispensation? That is not information that's usually just freely offered due to the nature.
I mean, that is understandable. Trying to think.
And you'd be familiar. A dispensation is basically some level of official permission.
No, for sure.
Usually from a temple or from a government or a judicial.
Yeah. I'm trying. Trying to think of. course, I had to take all of the psychic spells I had to take were ones that not ones that control. Yeah, it's not going to help. It's not going to help. I mean, that would help, just not in the best direction.
Do I kill them all and take what I need, or
You're not wrong. I'm afraid I don't. I'm afraid I am a person without authorization, but with need.
Is
the best
Cora?
way
Yeah. Okay.
the best way I would be able to explain this publicly, I suppose, would be I and those close to me within family, essentially, are under threat from this particular, and I need to learn more about them. So it is almost literally a matter of life and death.
Give me a persuasion.
Okay. Is where Really?
Ugh.
Under threat from abyssal entities?
Yes.
Your family?
Yes.
A curse?
A vendetta.
Somebody needs to roll a d20.
to see if they know what the word vendetta means.
I don't believe I've had any word of that sort of phenomenon, but I will have to direct you to one of our section administrators.
Wonderful. Thank you.
The man leads you past.
I just need to get this, and I just need to know where it is, so then I can summon Greater Demon, distract you all, and go there unobserved.
Ah! It's found me! I told you!
I do like the idea of summon Greater Demon as a catch-all solution because it's such a specific spell.
Yes, but it works.
They
would be distracted
for 5 seconds, and then it'd come after you.
But the man leads you down past row after row of bookshelves. Most of the things in here are actually bound volumes. There's occasional scrolls and cases of that sort of thing, but almost everything you hear is pages bound between covers.
Right.
And then down a small side hallway, and then raps on the door to an office, and a feminine voice from the interior calls for you both to enter. Man pushes the door open, and there is an elvish woman seated there. There's a pair of glasses just kind of sitting to the side, and she is in the middle of finishing up writing something. She has the sand out and the blotter and everything. Huh. We have someone who needs something then? What's your name?
My name is Cora.
Pleased to meet you, Cora.
Thank you. You as well. as I was explaining, I am in a situation of need of trying to learn information about a fiendish entity who is a threat to my family. And there has been it's been shockingly difficult to find anything. And I was hoping that I might be able to learn at least something here.
It threatens your family how exactly?
I mean, in a fairly standard sort of threat way of extermination.
Well, yes, but extermination, it's extraordinarily rare that a demon can actually pass the planar boundaries and reach Conflux. This would be a place where, by and large, your family would be safe.
In theory, yes. That is it is we are sort of a unique situation, to the best of my knowledge, at least. There certainly may be others, conceivably, but my siblings and I, how do you explain? Are bound in a spiritual manner.
Oh.
Would perhaps be the best way to explain it.
She kind of gestures for the other librarian to leave and shut the door. Points to a small chair that's off to one side.
Thank you.
Stands up and pours herself what appears to be a glass of water. Raises the carafe to you.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Takes a sip. I've heard of the Kalishtar, but I've never met one myself. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Has this peril risen in keeping with the great game, or?
Yes.
Fascinating.
It's not wrong.
There are, of course, theories and opinions, some rather dogmatic ones, that the boundaries thin during these times, and that
would make sense from a, I guess, arcane standpoint.
What is it that you hope to find? Vulnerabilities?
Identity,
methods of protection?
primarily. That would be where I would like to start. Because that is where I initially tried to start. And at every turn it has been seemingly impossible to get a name. And the fact that it is that well hidden suggests to me that it is a vulnerability. Therefore, it serves twofold.
And there is certainly an affiliation, and knowing the name of a devil or a demon is widely considered to be a great advantage. Yes, we do have some things here. Generally, approval from members of the establishment is necessary for that sort of thing. I assume you're in my office because you have none such.
That would be accurate.
She needs to make an insight check.
Okay.
And if you were to find this thing's name, what then?
I would use it to in a way to learn more about it, about its vulnerabilities, and ultimately, hopefully, how to destroy it. That's my
Destroy
goal.
it. Well,
My people have one. If not destroyed, the threat is always there, even if it's bound away. Bound away, sealed away is certainly better than not. But this is the ultimate. This is the only certainty of any kind of safety.
give me a persuasion check. I'll give you advantage on this one.
Okay. A 1 and a 2.
Excellent.
Let's see.
One of those is twice as good as the other one.
Yep. Well, one was a 2, but the other was a 10, so or 11, so 19.
19. She nods. Very well. I judge that this is a valid pursuit. Follow me.
Thank you. Yep.
She will take you to a side chamber,
Okay.
heavily secured. She unlocks a number of latches to open the doors, and there's that sort of musty book smell as you open it. This is a unfrequently utilized room.
Okay.
What sort of things can we use to narrow this down?
I can tell you that they are a cold ice based fiend.
All right.
They have made use of the standard, some standard servants, imps. If it is, if this information might be stored in said archives, it would be the fiendish entity who is specifically threatening Shauna.
All right.
Trying to say, as Jeremy goes through his character history to see if there's anything I'm forgetting.
There was a prophecy thing or something on the tomb.
There may have been.
I don't remember that.
Crypt inscription. Yep. Yes. I will hand that because I believe I have that.
Yeah,
if not,
you've
I
got
will
it.
write it down.
Okay. She'll take that, kind of raise an eyebrow. Feel like this would be well worth having in our archives, if I may keep this.
Yes,
referring to the
absolutely.
transcription.
Yes, of course.
Oh, look, there it is in our handouts. Hidden amongst everything else.
Yep.
Go ahead, as she will assist you while
Okay.
supervising, and still keeping a fairly close eye. Go ahead and give me an investigation check with advantage.
Could I make it history?
Sure.
Okay.
History would qualify.
I
as
have
well.
much better bonus for history.
Yeah.
Come on. I hate you dice. 15.
Okay. Now make me one for religion.
Okay. 19.
19. All right. You start going back and forth, trying to confer between different options. It takes the better part of an hour flipping through various tomes and things. And then you find what, based on the librarian's estimation and your own, is probably the most indicative passage. It's a blurb in basically a sort of, not exactly a field guide to demons, but there's not really much. It's a treatise on various entities. Demons of ice and magic are unique, and those affiliated with both such elements are only occasionally noted among the teeming hordes of the abyssal realms.
Okay.
3 princes of note from the last millennia have been recorded, each seemingly reigning from a frankly Stygian subdimension of the demonic pits, though that comparison should not be made within any of the inhabitants' earshot. Conjuration and evocation tend to be affiliated schools of magic for such beings. The Frozen Duke Ravenak, Avalon of the Ice Waste, and the Gentian Frostbound Queen Lindranai all fill these roles.
What's the third one?
I'll put it in chat.
Okay, thank you.
This is from a volume published almost 800 years ago called The Whales of the Deep, Wails, by an individual, the author Fendevald Grubstock, which is not to be confused with The Whales of the Deep, Whales.
Right.
Which is an obviously fictional account about massive aquatic mammals living in a vast watery expanse, which is patently ridiculous.
Of course.
Right. Nowhere has that much water.
No.
Nowhere
in the entire multiverse.
Right. That would be silly.
Yep. Cool. That gives me names.
You've got 3 names.
I have 3 names. And Cora smiles.
That's almost as preposterous as there being a place with that much water.
Yeah.
Pretty much. You're not
facial
wrong.
Muscles can do that.
All right. Yeah. I record all that. And I'm sorry. What was my temporary patron here's name?
At some point
Not
along the
patron,
conversation,
patron.
right. You get the name. Her name is Amra. She is a librarian emeritus.
Okay.
At the GAHP. At the Gap.
And yes, I will. Thank you very, very much, Amro. Yes, the inscription is absolutely the library is to keep. I would my sole request in regard to that is that it be as well guarded as clearly this information is.
She kind of glances down at it and looks over at a slightly less hidden shelf. I think I know a good spot.
Wonderful.
One suggestion, if I might.
Of course.
The transcription here references the summons. Please don't.
Duly noted. I will do my best not to summon.
That is a lie.
I will do my best not to summon an all-powerful demon lord with homicidal designs on me and mine.
I feel like we made a mistake that was a minor version of that mistake already. So we can justifiably know it's a bad idea.
That was a test run.
See, if you lie in a way that makes it sound like you're joking, it's harder to determine that it's a lie.
That's true.
Or if you
She
feel
gives you a
guilty.
very narrow look, but she smiles.
And yes, I will exit and begin a long walk back.
Do you take a nap? Do you like stretch your calves or
The thing
drink
that's
some
gonna
water?
be hilarious is that by the time Cora gets
Eat a
back,
banana?
you'll be up in the fens,
Right? Yep.
Yeah.
which is where Holodoors is.
Yep.
We might meet them part way.
It's very possible.
Indeed. But Wotan, you guys have gotten down to Twilight's Web and Shadow Shades.
Yep. Presumably, fuck. Let's see what I've got that's useful here. Are we able to send messages at will to the holder of the tome?
No, I can send them to anybody, but you have to have somebody that can send one to me. It's a one-way communication street.
More or less. It can only be initiated from Warlock at this point. But yeah. So are you just looking for Thalia at this point, basically?
Basically, yeah, because I mean,
Okay.
when they actually get to Twilight's Web, they'll presumably contact me so I can locate them specifically.
Yep. So you drop anchor in one of the harbораges in Shadow Shades. Embark with the rowboat, going down the various channels and canals that crisscross the quarter. Thalia had sent you a message a few days ago before you left for the Underdark, basically telling you where she'd be camping out if you needed anything, and that she was going to be looking for crew members.
Yep.
And eventually, are you bringing anybody with you, or are you going by yourself?
I mean, if anyone wants to come along, I won't stop them, but I'm not looking for anyone.
Anybody going along?
I continue swinging my sword and learning to be a monk.
Cole will go with.
Ah, shoot. Why not? I'll go with you too.
I should point out that at this point, Wotan looks even more like Odin the Wanderer because he's got the gnarled wooden staff with the gem in the head that he walks with now.
Yep, sure does.
Because fun fact, the original artworks of Odin is where the original aesthetic of Gandalf came from.
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave Jinx on the boat to near Zoe, though, and Jinx will practice with her stinger up against the side of the wall, just like trying to get the same spot, get used to the tail.
Also, Gandalf just comes from Old Norse for elf with staff.
That's good. I take Rourke with me because I know he needs a break.
Okay. So you guys follow along to Wotan's direction, rowing the boat deeper into the quarter till he stops it at an intersection of canals. There's a rickety wooden stair set into the side of one of these buildings. You know that you recognize the place based on Thalia's directions. She should be somewhere up on the second floor.
What does the house look like?
The house is built out of primarily stone, a little bit slapdash, a little bit ramshackle. There's a fair bit of moss and mold in this quarter, but you can see the reddish tiles of a roof, different color than most of the black and grayish slate that it primarily roofs these buildings. But the most notable feature are the slightly tarnished brass imps that form the sort of decorative settings on the door knockers and the lintels of the door frames.
Well, she should be somewhere on the second floor of this building.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
How many second floor windows are there?
3.
3.
2 second floor doors.
So she Wotan will just sort of like wave a hand and conjure a mage hand that'll just float up to try one of the second floor windows, just rap on it real quick, and then if there's no response, move to check another one.
Okay. So the mage hand drifts up, raps on the window. And there's a brief moment. The window shutters swing open and a crossbow comes out. You're late, love.
Got a bit held up by some nonsense in Merc Dreamer.
Yeah. Am I coming down or are you coming up?
I got some friends that are welcome in.
I've got a spare bottle or 2.
All right, you two, let's go in. And I'll walk up to the door.
All right. You hear the bolt scrape back as the window is first shut, and then she lets you in. There's a bedroll kind of flung to one corner, number of chairs, small table, fireplace with a couple of cooking implements there. The place smells primarily of stale wine, a little bit of beer, and whatever meat was cooked probably 2 or 3 days before that she's been working her way through. Come to check in on me then.
Of course. Now that we're not being chased around by some other warlock packs or giant shadow monsters.
All right. It's a fine staff you've got there, love.
And he sort of looks at it for a second. Other warlock pact, like I said.
Tools of our enemies and the like.
Indeed.
So, what do we have? We still just trying to crew the wave crest? We need another ship?
Not the Wave Crest anymore. There's a significantly larger ship that's flowed into my possession.
Oh, well. You'll have to tell me that story. What's her name?
Elishard's Revenge.
Oh, dear. How long since?
How long has it been? 2 days, 3 days?
2 days.
2 days.
Well, may his soul sleep easy, I suppose. She kind of looks at the rest of you to see how everybody's taking it. Soldier on then.
Yeah, Cole's kind of just like looking at the wall when he's thinking about the scry earlier.
Cole's got other things on his mind.
Well, no, the Elishard scry.
Oh, yeah.
And his sister's scry, but yeah.
Yep.
Got his journal, so even if the Warlocks ended him, Nikki's a very sleepy baby right now. I'm not wording very good. Diamond says in a much more convincing voice, I've got his journal, so I can pick up where he left off.
Very good.
I'm so good at role playing, everybody.
NyQuil does that to you.
How dare you be tired after taking NyQuil? How dare you?
I know. I'm upset that it's the only thing I have.
I mean, if I had to drink NyQuil, I'd feel the same way. Fuck that shit.
It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get the best sleep. But right now I'm like, fuck. can't stay awake.
Problem with that shit for me is the second I drink it, I immediately want to like completely rinse everything that touched it off because it's worst.
Well, closest thing I've got, there's been a bit of a dearth of crew potential. But I was able to raise a few people that seem fairly promising.
We got for options.
It's the best I could find. Fortunately, a lot of them are of the less discreet type, and of course that's something that's necessary, especially for everything that has been going on.
What they look like?
It's 5. Couple elves, gnome, a few lasses of human descent.
All local to here.
Reasonably, aye. They have another friend who might be coming along. Might not.
You expected them to come here?
No. Been meeting at Bend in the River. Tavern a bit down the way.
Do I know that tavern?
It's been a while since you went through its doors, but you recognize the name.
I'm assuming it's at the Bend in the Reedy River.
Yep.
I thought so.
But if we've time, we can go and meet up with him.
I look at the other two.
You can pick.
You up for getting some crew?
Yeah, if we need it. Yeah.
Well, let's go get some recruits then.
Yay!
We'll go
More friends.
We'll go from a skeleton crew to half crewed.
We got rid of our skeleton friend.
All right.
Cole hang back and actually turn to Thalia and say, you know people that can find people, right?
All right.
And if I gave you just what somebody looked like in their name, I know it's not a lot. Could you at least I don't know, put feelers out?
I mean, name and appearance is the bare minimum.
Yeah. I can give you where she was last seen too, but I don't know exactly where she is.
Yeah.
But I know she's.
Do you know what she does?
I think it's at an inn or a tavern, maybe.
Oh, well, that'll narrow it down a bit at least.
Yeah. She was last seen in Dawn Breeze, and then he changes into the last time he saw his sister.
So earlier today.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, technically, yeah. Earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
And her name is Lilith Astasi.
Lilith Astasi. All right. She kind of takes a moment, and you can see her brow furrow a bit as she kind of fixes the features in her mind. Works at an inn, you say, somewhere in the city.
Somewhere.
Right. Last scene, you said Donbreeze.
It's the last place I saw her.
All right, well, that'll give us a place to start at least.
And I'll tell her the areas that I already looked over when I was locate creature Raven.
Okay. So not
okay.
much in Knives Font, all right?
Yeah, not. Which is relieving.
Yeah, depends who you ask, but no, I see where you're coming from.
She's not Knives Font material.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm being perfectly honest with you, Cole, you're not really nice font material either. You're more of a
I
Twilight
know.
Web Dancer's Court kind of person.
I know. I got shot immediately when I got there the first time we went there. I almost died. I still, and he kind of lifts up his armor a little bit. I still have the mark from where the crossbow hit me.
Yeah, I think you do better in Twilight Web, Dancer's Court, maybe Trick Towns if you're lucky.
Oh yes, I much prefer those areas, but I've made do. But
Well,
yes,
now we've got a moving base, so
yeah. Thank you. Any favor you need, I'll help if you can find her, or at least get news, something.
All right, then. Right about now, the boat is, as you guys have been rowing it, pulling up to the Bend in the River Tavern. Bit of music drifting out. Somebody's playing a set of pipes on the inside. You can hear a bit of rowdy singing coming from within as well. Thalia gets out of the rowboat, casts a line over top of one of the pilings nearby, gives it a tug to secure it, and then just pushes her way in with you guys following behind. The bar is being run by a trio of gnomes who are just shouting over the orders, clientele, tossing drinks back forth, sliding them down the bar, raking in the money as it's provided. The place is reasonably packed, honestly. And given the normal, very quiet, somber, almost mournful aspect of Song of Sorrows as a quarter, or Shadow Shades as a quarter, it's surprisingly lively in here. It's a very, very strong counterpoint to the outdoor kind of aspect of the general region. Thalia waves for you all to follow, and she kicks her way through the crowd, definitely dropping an elbow or two into the lower backs and hips of some people as she goes past. And then
looks over his shoulder at Cole. I mean, it's a long shot, but you'd be remiss if you didn't check here. This is a tavern.
Yeah, I see. I'll definitely have my eyes open.
You got magic too, so.
Yeah. Quick question: are we telling the crew that
they're gonna find out very quickly?
Yeah, that's fair.
What, you mean our collection of animal side characters and literal robot aren't obvious tells that we're not a normal group of
There's plenty of weird shit in Conflux.
When the first one of you goes to fly to bring the rigging up and down.
Fair.
Well, if I fly, I turn into a bird, so I'm
that doesn't make it less obvious.
It's true.
All right. But she grabs a table. One of the serving girls comes along. She's like, "Hey, tell my friends meet us over here as soon as you see him come in, right?" The maid nods, and Thalia pays for a round of drinks for everybody. Just for starters, and before the other 5 get here.
Mm-hmm.
I'd immediately scout the room.
Okay, give me a perception check.
26.
26. You don't see anybody that looks like your sister.
Okay. Sit quietly with my drink.
Yep. Every time somebody comes out of the kitchen or comes in through the door, you know, your eyes are right on them as soon as possible. Nobody looks like Lilith.
Okay.
But the first to arrive are a pair of elves. Thalia introduces them as Kedwirl and Jostra.
You're gonna need spellings for all of these.
Sure. They seem to be siblings. Apparently have spent... Sorry?
You said they're half elf?
Elves.
Elves? Damn.
Elves.
Jasper's the name of another character in my Sunday group who's half elf and will fight everybody.
Kedril has a pair of blades on him. Jastra seems unarmed, but carries herself pretty confidently. If anybody's trying to engage them in conversation, they're willing to talk.
What do you guys do?
Work, mostly, Kedril says. I mostly been taking jobs in the shipyards recently. Jastra's been running up and down the river. Courier vessel work primarily. She gives a nod.
Cold nods.
Drops her mug back down on the table. A lot of messaging running and that sort of thing. I do a bit of navigation, and then of course just basic sail work, that kind of thing. Small cutters mostly.
How's your brother's operation skills?
Oh, him? He's good enough. Dab hand at the router and carpentry, that kind of thing.
The two of you looking to make a significantly larger profit and take on some more adventurous jobs?
As long as pay matches the hazard, we're up for it.
That does tend to be the goal.
All right. Yeah, you can count us in. Known Thalia to do some freelance hiring up and down the river, so.
And I'd be remiss to not lay this down up front because it'll come out eventually. How do you feel about taking part in the great game?
You see Jastra's eyes just kind of drift over to your staff. And back to you. Suppose that answers that question. You didn't look like you had a limp.
To be fair.
Pay meets hazard. Hazard brings pay.
They do tend to go hand in hand.
Let's do it then.
Excellent.
What's the weirdest thing you've seen working by the water? Just to get a scale of how you're gonna do.
Saw a man get into a fight. He had been digging into his cups probably for a solid 2-3 hours or so. Apparently he said something that rubbed somebody the wrong way. Kedril kind of rolls his eyes. Oh God, this story again. Apparently insulted somebody who had a few more friends present than he originally had known. They threw him through the door. He got up, brushed himself off. All three of them jumped him. And then somehow he managed to, they couldn't lay a glove on him. He beat the shit out of all three of them and then ran across the river to the other side and started drinking at that tavern. I'm telling you, sister, you were the one who had been drinking for 3 hours at that same time too. And I don't believe a fucking word of it.
When you pick a fight with a drunken master monk.
At this point, 3 more women show up. A gnome and 2 humans. Gnome introduces herself as Masilda. The humans are Muriel and Sabrine. Sabrine is the one that commands the most attention. Partially because she's wearing half plate. Pulls off a helmet, bangs it down on the table, leans her sword up against Well, it's been a hell of a day. And I need something to bite, and I need something to swallow. She slams a gauntleted fist on the table.
That was a turn of phrase, all right.
Yeah, it's definitely just like Nikki's like, me? Hopeful.
Mutton and ale!
And Diamond's definitely gonna elbow Woden like, I like her.
Cole yells, 2 muttons.
She gives you a kind of a nod. Well, Thalia, is this your captain you're always going on about? I'm security.
Woden sort of reaches a hand out. Woden salt spray.
Sabrine Kensington gives you a firm handshake through the gauntlet. I'm the one that makes sure that anybody who steps on board is either welcome or leaving in pieces.
I like that plan. Do I recognize her from the shenanigans outside the party?
No, that was
Yeah, no.
somebody else.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was not the spell sword girl.
No.
Which I
have
miss her.
I have her name somewhere. I'm just looking for it.
Her
That was
name
gonna-
is Aoife Twiceborn, and she is not
Yes.
present currently.
Yeah.
Love her.
Masilda just kind of shakes her head.
Oh yeah, the gnomes. Tell me about the gnomes.
Well, this one's very serious most of the time.
I was about to say, like, that's not Diamond. That's Nikki. I'm so sorry. Nikki wants to know about the gnomes, please.
There's only one gnome.
I thought you said there were 2.
No,
There are two humans and a gnome.
2 humans.
Excuse me.
Yep. Muriel, the other human, seems to carry herself as just your basic general run-of-the-mill river sailor. I'm Masilda Trickspindle. It's very nice to meet all of you. I'm a rigging monkey, so anything that needs climb tide, lash down, you know who's going to be there first and fastest. But
Good, because this one apparently can climb but can't do knots, I say, looking over at Diamond.
yeah, you'll have to follow me. I'll get you caught up.
I wasn't built to be dexterous.
No, you're a solid girl, aren't you? And she kind of gives you a little punch in the bicep.
It's very solid.
Shakes out her knuckles.
Solid as a rock.
Like a rock.
I had to. It's not on my playlist for reasons. Okay, I don't have any questions.
Well, I'll have to pose the same question to you three that I posed to the first two. You up for more adventure, more pay, more danger?
Muriel kind of thins her lips a little bit. I have a few standards that Thalia's aware of, and I think she's willing to meet my criteria. Thalia just kind of shakes her head, rolls her eyes a little bit. Look, we're not the sort that does anything with children. Why do you think everybody out there is just murdering children and kidnapping children all the time?
Wotan doesn't blink.
And there's no slaving. There's no slaving anywhere.
No, there is not. There's none of that.
No, every slave we've come across, we've either freed or hired. As in a free man.
That's not right, Wood, but not here.
You know what? Those aren't standards. That's a
But
good on
anyway,
you.
yes, you've got morals. We're aware. She takes a sip of her drink. As long as that's clear, then I think we're all fine.
Well, other thing that needs to be made clear, Wotan says, tapping the staff. If you sign on with us, you're signing on to be part of the great game.
Sabrine kind of raises her head a little bit with that, swallows her last bite of mutton that she's managed to bolt down. Well, I think that's the most interesting news I've heard this month. Buried your lead there, Thalia. Thalia just gives her a very level look.
We're not exactly the best crowd. Not us. We're great. Warlocks in general. I don't know if you heard about the
Oh, the fact that you've all got targets painted on your back?
pretty much.
Yeah, we're going to be watching for assassins.
We just, not going to advertise that we're looking for hired help. Hired help puts a dagger in their hand and stabs us in the back. That's not really good help now, is it?
What exactly are you accusing us of?
I'm not accusing you. The drink's getting to me now.
What she's saying is if we advertised that we were warlocks looking for crew, the assassins would just sign up to be part of the crew.
Exactly.
That.
Okay.
We have ways to watch out for that.
There's like 5 empty mugs next to Diamond already.
Someone just kept buying her drinks and she didn't want to feel rude.
At this point, a carriage has gotten down to the docks in Twilight's Web.
Yes.
Theoretically, an identify spell has also finished.
And the identify spell has recognized that Constance is under the effects of true polymorph.
Just
Your-
need to
Your sister is currently under the effect of a spell called True Polymorph, a high-level transmutation spell that alters the physiology of an individual, and so if it lasts a certain amount of time, I think, it becomes permanent, doesn't it?
Permanent until dispelled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It becomes permanent until dispelled.
I've tried dispelling it. I've tried several times.
It is a significantly powerful spell. It would not be one easy to dispel. Jack, can I think of ways? Just siphoning through the archive in my brain.
Yep.
Can I think of any way one might dispel a true polymorph other than casting a 9th level dispel magic?
I mean, cast dispel magic at lower than 9th level and roll high enough.
I
Yeah.
mean,
I've been trying that.
ways that don't rely on dice rolls is what I'm trying to think of.
As far as that goes, you are not familiar with any guaranteed method, no. I mean, rolling high on your dispel is probably your best bet.
Cast enhance ability if someone has it.
Yeah,
No,
there are spells that can be cast to make that easier or more likely to go well.
Yeah. So, aside from being a significantly powerful enough caster and dispelling it, I do not know of any other ways of removing the polymorph. However, there may be other methods one would have to research, though.
I've been looking. I am frustrated, and so Aurelia is going to try and dispel magic again.
Okay.
One more time. Why not? Do you want me to make a
So you are casting this at 5th level.
5th level? Yep.
You need to make just a straight charisma check.
Okay. Come on.
Nope.
14. Fuck.
Cast the spell, and you feel that effort That abjuration magic pushing against this transmutation and no avail.
Fucking hell. Shit.
Jack, can I think of any methods that I might have been imparted with for enhancing your spellcasting ability in that manner?
As far as that goes, potentially having multiple people all concentrating on similar spells at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real good solution.
This may require additional research, though having multiple people attempting to dispel at the same time may increase the likelihood of positive results.
And you dispel.
Enhanceability is a thing.
I do not have that ability, no.
Right, but that's not a warlock spell generally.
No, it's not.
It's not.
Worth mentioning as a quick point, but probably not getting to it for a while, and that's totally fine. But eventually, Cora's going to be like, "Yes, I'm tired of walking," and is going to reach out to wherever Shethal is to try and get Shethal to send a message to the boat to come pick him up.
Yep. Shethal, like, you didn't bring Shethal with you,
No.
So he's still fucking around on the Revenge. Yep.
Shockingly, I did not bring
No.
the fiendish demon to help get information about how to destroy its master. No.
Right.
So, as a fun fact, Dispel Magic is a warlock spell, though.
Yeah.
Dispel Magic is, yeah.
So
Yeah.
we could theoretically, out of character, Warlock wouldn't know enough to suggest it. Out of character, we could all take a short or long rest, take Dispel Magic, and then all of us just at once blast it with Dispel Magic.
I mean, my
Our
option
powers
is
combined.
my option is if we can
you rolled
find
a 14, Aurelia.
Yep.
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
No.
My option is if we can find somebody with Spare the Dying, a very specific part of the spell is it lasts until you drop to 0 hit points or are dead, and then you
No.
You need to wait.
No.
Wait. To be clear,
No.
Warlock has a high enough intelligence to not reveal that part of the
to
information.
be clear, that's why I said somebody with Spare the Dying. Drop to 0 hit points, Spare the Dying, human form. Oh, or loses sense of humanity in octopus form forever. Which do you prefer?
We'll have to discuss this in character. Anyway.
Aurelia, you're noticing that those last 3 fingers on your hand are starting to feel weird again.
Yep.
Right.
It might have something to do with the fact that they've all fused together.
Uh-huh.
And to have suckers kind of on this little like weird little hand paddle thing that you got going.
I'm going to deal with that later.
Though it may be worthwhile to bring this to the rest of the compact. With our collective magical might, it might be something we can do together.
Yes. Yes.
Rather than one individual trying to do it on their own and failing.
Yes. Thank you for putting it like that. At some point, I would really like to crack open, I don't know, your head and just see what's going on in there.
The mask.
Wow.
The mask opens up and you just see the 2 blue eyes and whirring clockwork.
Yep.
Facet. Okay. Are they just like suspended in midair? I'm really curious about this. Are they like embedded in the back of this like skull wall?
No, it's like
Oh no, it's a full mechanical matrix. It's a solid gearbox and all sorts of whirring bits and stuff. Like you recognize the gears, but there's other things going on there that you just are like, holy shit, what the fuck is that?
And there is a face. There is like a definitive like faceplate there as well. It's just the faceplate is,
So, extra.
normal. So it's like,
Okay.
and then the mask closes back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I am here to assist.
Just a Terminator's face opening up to reveal the skeleton for a
I
second.
mean,
Kind of ish, a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you count as a humanoid? I don't know.
Yes, I am a humanoid.
Wonderful. Can you breathe?
It is not required that I breathe, no.
All right. I'm learning things. Okay. I think we've arrived.
Yep, you are at the docks.
Yep. Aurélia's got her
Driver's
hand
like,
tucked
"All
up
right."
in her. I don't think her.
We're
sleeves are
here.
quite
Get
long
out.
enough. Yep.
Help get the thing out.
Got
it.
everything you need? Didn't leave anything behind?
Nope. Gonna grab the tank. Shit. I put on my gloves while we're getting ready, and then grab the tank. That'll hide it.
A bit.
A
All three of
bit.
your fingers are one mass.
Yeah,
Shush.
three of your fingers don't really. They just sort of curl. Well, I mean, they
Yeah,
sort of just
I
slump
like
down
do
over.
this. Yeah,
Yep.
I do like this.
You've got a finger gun on this hand,
Exactly.
and the rest of it just sort of gloops.
Yep. So I grab it like that.
Chink.
Carry.
Get
go
it out of the
in.
carriage so our carriage driver can leave.
Yep. He
We,
just kind of gets the horses moving again.
we're now like we're within 500 feet of the ship now, right?
Oh no, not even close.
Oh, we're not? Oh, there are the
No,
docks.
you went to the Twilight's Web docks. They are down
Yeah.
in Shadow Shades right now.
Yep.
All right, we're here
I
at the
see.
docks. Where are you? I don't see the ship.
So
Who was
I
that
get that
sent
message.
to? Okay.
To Wotan probably. You're the
Was that
captain.
a sending spell?
Yep.
Okay, so you get the return back. Recruiting some crewmates. We'll get back to you in a minute.
Waiting here.
I-
They're recruiting people.
On the no, because I was casting Identify, so I wouldn't have had a chance to take a short rest. Well then, might I suggest we find a comfortable place to sit and rest for a little while?
Sure. Okay.
I'm interested to figure out what Warlock's definition of comfortable is.
A bench.
Bench. We sit on a bench with an octopus and a tank between us. I love it.
A place that is not actively stabbing you.
Yes.
Fair enough.
This is what they call a meet cute.
Looking between the bench that's like jab, 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 and the other one.
The
I'm-
less stabby of the two
No, I'm
benches.
not gonna do it.
Back at the tavern, Wotan's like, well, looks like some of the rest of the compact is waiting for us in Twilight's Web.
Also, closet sounds.
They took a rowboat. Chathal's on the ship proper,
Right.
probably
right, fair.
terrorizing Quinn, honestly, right now.
Oh,
He's not prepared for this shit.
oh, poor guy.
So looking at the other people in the tavern, Thalia mentioned that one of you might have a friend coming along.
Wasn't able to make it tonight, unfortunately.
Should we be expecting them in the future, or
If it turns out we need him, I mean, I can reach out. If we decide we need more. Yeah. Gisbert's a good egg, and
fine?
little idealistic.
Idealistic, like your friend here, or
In his worst moments, little trusting.
Wouldn't last 5 minutes in Knife's font?
He would last 5 minutes. He'd just be broke very quickly.
Maybe if we need him. I'd rather not subject a poor boy to living on what is almost certainly going to at some point be labeled a pirate ship.
I last longer than 5
Kedwirl's
minutes.
head comes up. Oh, see if you'd led with pirate.
You haven't heard of Wotan Salt Spray. That's unfortunate.
Oh, we've heard. Thalia's made sure that we know all of the necessary stories.
I look over at Thalia, including the one where she blew my ship up.
Under duress.
Under duress.
I had my reasons. We talked about it already.
I'm just giving you a hard time at this point.
And the nieces are now where they should be. So it's not an issue anymore.
I'm just giving you a hard time, love.
I know. It's not like you could have blown up my ship.
Oh,
He tried.
Is that a challenge?
Loaf, you're a delight to be around. You've got a personality that is winning in the extreme. But I could think my way around you so fast.
Are we gonna go back to the ship, or are you guys gonna keep flirting?
That is why we work together.
It's true.
It's cute, but we got work to do.
Well, Kedwirl, ladies, you've met your captain. Do we have a deal? And there's a round of nods around the table.
Lady crew.
I mean, predominantly, yeah.
All. And
No,
one dude.
Except for
Yes.
Kedwirl.
Yeah, it's
Kedwirl and
and
Virshana and Rorik.
He doesn't count. No, he counts. He counts.
But no, of the 5 people that are being currently considered for hiring, it is 80% female. Yes.
Well, welcome aboard the Elishard's Revenge.
And Masilda immediately, who's Elishard? Was Elishard.
A close
No.
friend.
All right. There better be good stories.
Oh, there will be. But let's share them on board, shall we? There's a ship that needs crew.
And they will follow you guys back.
I go buy one more leg of mutton before we leave for I get road mutton.
Road mutton? All
Yeah.
right. The amount that you've eaten and are taking for the road probably gets you around 5 silver right now.
All
so
right.
mark that off your sheet.
I will. All right then.
Okay. And with the crew of the Elishard's Revenge 5 more strong, you guys head back to the ship, and I assume
Head to Twilight's Web to
head to Twilight's Web
pick up
to
the crew.
pick up the crew. All right.
And then get told by Lit Shathal something.
Since we're sitting there a while on the
Mhm.
docks,
Yes.
I will eventually. So when I try and do that dispel thing, stuff happens. I remove the glove and like show you, and then cover it back up again with my other hand. I'm not sure what this is or why it's happening. I want to make sure that when we do this all as a group, the others don't have. I don't know if it's catching. I think it's a gift from my patron, but I want to make sure.
26 Arcana check.
With the 26, there's a number of potential explanations that occur to you. I mean, given the similarities in the transformation and the current state of the subject, you're guessing that if you don't win, you get a little bit of blowback. as it were?
It is entirely possible that this particular variation of the true polymorph spell has severe consequences for failure. Thus, the contagious nature of the effect.
Right.
Though I imagine, with a successful dispelling of it, any blowback should also be removed. That would occur at the same time as the dispelling.
Right.
Though I imagine if failure, then potentially multiple people might end up with additional tentacle limbs.
That seemed accurate to me.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
potential. It kind of
Oh, yeah.
it kind of fits your current and historical experiences regarding trying to fix your sister.
All right.
Once the ship is within, because I'm just like sort of passively pressing my checking the connection with Io, so that I know when it's within 100 feet.
Okay. I mean, you'll be able to see it before it's within 100 feet.
Just in
It's a
case there are
ship.
weird bends. I don't know how they're
Okay.
building. Because if you can not see things that are within 100 feet of you, not because of the size of the ship, but because of the size of the things between
fair.
you. So
Put the glove back on.
once I know it's that close, I will indicate it if it's not visible.
So when Cora gets tired of walking, what do they tell Shathal to do?
I will. I would assume I'm somewhere near the river.
Yeah.
I will go find Wotan, please. I will handle
He
the
left.
rest. I'm sorry. Did the phrase did the word in there go confuse you?
People still here.
What?
Can I
There-
just tell somebody who's actually here?
Is it somebody that can operate the ship?
Yeah.
Are you lying to me?
He's definitely lying to you.
Go find the fucking pirate.
So in theory, could pilot the ship. It's just a bad idea.
He was definitely just going to go talk to Zoe.
Yeah, for sure,
Right.
for sure.
But yeah, with direct instructions,
Yes.
Shathal
he
turns
just
himself into a
yep.
bat and flies off looking for Wotan.
Okay, perfect.
So Wotan, a bat drops down and is just glaring up at you somehow.
And then I use voice of the Chain Master.
All right, and you
Soon as
hear
I'm
Cora's
made aware.
voice from the bat say,
Do you think it would be possible to come pick me up?
I mean, I could have dropped you off wherever you were going if you'd asked us in the first place.
Everybody had things going on. You were training people on how to use how to operate the ship. I did not want to impede that.
Fair enough. Where are you at?
And I will give like the nearest dock.
somewhere in northern
Yeah.
Fell Heights, we'll say.
Yeah.
All right, we'll
So I
make our way
assume
up.
that you're still keeping to that side of the river.
Yes, for
Cora.
sure.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We'll make our way up there as soon as we pick up Aurelia and Warlock.
Thank you.
All right. So
I
you
hold my
guys,
hand out for Shathal to get climb on me instead.
the bat just sort of flaps his way up, sits down on the palm of your hand,
Gets in your hand.
bites your hand.
Gonna say
I shake my hands. And hopefully fast enough that you just, fuck, and then he just falls. Hits
Yeah,
the-
no, it's
the
a
boat.
it's a nip. It's not like actual attempt to deal damage. Just being an asshole for being an asshole's sake.
I don't know why I try to be nice to you.
Neither
I
does
don't know
Shatal.
either.
Says Shathal with Cora's voice.
Yeah.
But you guys begin sailing up the river. Twilight's Web has a fairly small waterfront comparative to a lot of the other quarters. And you guys are able to be it's hard to pick out exactly from the ship necessarily who it is, but I'll let everybody make perception checks to see who notices who first.
Perception.
And did we get a short rest in
13.
there while waiting?
You've you've had enough time for a short rest, yeah.
Yay,
So
thoughts.
inebriated. Nope.
Yeah,
I'm
cool.
busy being worried.
19.
I have one eye. It's fine.
So yeah, Warlock, you eventually see the Revenge, formerly the Junk Pile, coming up the river.
There it is. I will
Oh,
slap the orb onto my staff, and I'm going to, just because it's efficient and easier to get it'll be easier to get the thing there and they want to dock. I'm going to use my Mystic Arcanum to open up an arcane gate on the ship and in front of us.
Okay. Easy enough.
So just slaps it on his staff, taps the ground, scrawls a circle, and then a Rip in Reality appears in front of us and on the ship.
oh, that was not subtle. Okay.
This will make it easier to get onto the ship without them having to stop.
How many people are around?
Fair few. Immediately like, oh, and then whispering.
I mean, it's not like Warlock wasn't obvious in the first place.
You only said to not talk about Warlock stuff to the lady in the tavern.
I know.
Warlock helps you lift the tank, I assume.
Yep.
Yes.
And you guys boom onto.
Subtlety. Man.
We who play late night on Saturdays call that or Friday, Saturday morning, call that the RAM rule.
Aaron, you're muted. Close the portal afterwards.
Right.
Where would you like to put it? The tank, I mean. I am not unpersifying your sister.
Her. What's your pronouns?
You can use whatever pronouns you like.
Great. I'm down below. There's like the medical area. I'm assuming there's like open space there. That seems like the most where there'd be like a table or something where I could set that open space.
You should be back on the ship page.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Oh.
Section 10.
Yeah.
Oh.
And lockable doors.
Well,
I like the idea that something distracts, like some catastrophe runs through, and Aurelia really quick just sets it aside, sets her aside, and goes to deal with it, and is unknowingly set it on the stove.
It's not the galley.
I'm a terrible person.
Fortunately, there isn't a stove on board because I haven't had time to fabricate furniture yet.
Damn it! How are
we
we
go.
supposed to cook Aurelia's sister then?
You're not supposed to. I set her up there and make sure like it feels
Alright.
stable to me.
Right. Find an area that's reasonably secure.
Uh-huh. Right. Okay. We need to talk to everyone.
What's our gold stash looking like right now? I don't think I have that recorded at the moment.
It's on the
Is it in the party
notebook.
notes?
Yep.
That'll
got a
be
lot
in
of
the,
gold.
that'll be in the cargo hold.
We got 2,062 gold.
Yeah.
A lot. We can get rid of the rent pouch. That's done.
Yeah, the red pouch is gone.
Yep, it's true. All right.
Once we set the aquarium down, should we be unable to reverse the process, and you still wish to have that backpack created, we simply would need to gather the materials, and I can do that for you.
Great. Yeah. No, I've got some. I was going to be swinging by the university, either later today or.
I'll give you an estimate for the volume of materials we would need.
Yeah. Cool.
Would Fell Heights be a place to purchase just bedrolls for the ship?
Oh yeah, you'd be able to find that sort of thing.
Because, like, you obviously don't put beds on a ship, but bedrolls in place of hammocks for eventual, or if we can find hammocks, that'd be great too.
Purchase tarps and let me turn them into hammocks.
Yeah, we did make like some essentially bedroll mattresses.
Yeah, we got stuff from the house.
I made a 4-poster bed for Diamond because that was the indication given. Like one room has a 4-poster bed.
No, yeah, that would be how Zoe would have explained it. So Woden is going around like, obviously you don't put beds, you put bedroll. Just there is one room that has a 4-poster bed in it.
It's like Woden looks at that one and is like, that person's going to wake up vomiting and falling off that one day.
There isn't much water deep underground that is navigatable by boat, okay?
This is very true.
We can get it fixed later.
Also,
It's
I'm
just
pretty
funny.
sure Dwarfs with Submarines was my setting and not something I found in one of the book books.
That's a Warhammer thing, man.
Where's Cora?
In Fell Heights, so we're going to get them now.
Right. Perfect. I have a request of all of you once we retrieve them.
Right. Well, at the moment, I say, looking over at our new recruits, Masilda, if you could get the sails down for us.
She'll flag Kedril, and because getting sails up and down is by no means a single person.
No, it's not a
job.
one-man job.
Right. But she'll grab Kedril and Muriel to assist her in this, and they'll get the sails set between the three of them.
Welcome aboard the new ship, love. He'll start looking over at Thalia.
Thalia looks her way around, goes over, runs a finger down to where one of those obvious seams in material is, and then just kind of run her hand along it. Well, don't exactly know what else I should have been expecting.
I mean, it was built by magic, specifically that one's magic. I say pointing at Warlock.
Hello, I am Warlock.
Ah, Thalia, it's a pleasure.
It is a pleasure.
Apparently, the Great Press decided it wanted a hand in the game and printed a Warlock.
I am the emissary of the Great Press.
Just imagining a 1998 printed.
There are so many gears in the thinker's head going right now.
Well, I have a few words to take up with your progenitor then, if the opportunity presents itself.
Of course, I'd be happy to communicate for you.
All right. Well, first thing is leave my face off the fucking wanted posters.
Do we print? Does the Great Press print wanted posters?
Occasionally, yeah.
Do I know if do I know if this person has been printed on any wanted posters?
Make a history check.
I like the idea that because he's the emissary of the Great Press and the Great Gaming, you need to be like, okay, press, no more wanted posters with these people's faces on them.
15?
Yep.
I will relay your request. However, I do not know if it will have any impact.
Well, at least somebody's listening.
Warlock becomes the sole customer service representative.
Oh, God.
Sole PR department.
Because none of the people who work there know how it works, as we established.
Pretty much not. But as you guys...
And so look over, it is brand new, so the first thing we're going to have to do when we pick up Quota in Fell Heights is to get some hammocks and such.
But as you guys turn the nose of the Revenge northward, and Cora is waiting for pickup, Cora, roll me a perception check.
Sweet.
How many assassins do you see before we get there?
I was gonna say.
How many ice demons are there looking at you going, they haven't opened the puzzle box yet. It's delightful.
We just hear from Shethal, guys.
No. Shazal
be
just
more
starts
excited.
laughing maniacally and
Yeah.
poofs away
We're
because
never
that's
Yeah.
gonna
instant
get that promised downtime, are we?
I don't
That
see
is where
anything.
we will leave off for the week.
We'll get
I
there.
rolled a 4, viewers. A fucking 4. I
Total.
can
You
put
guys
the
are
right
currently
number
at-
of numbers
Held
up.
4 fingers as opposed to 5 because
You are currently
started with
in the
10.
midst of downtime. You
Say
are
goodbye.
absolutely experiencing that downtime right now.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Hey.
Goodbye.